Director from Kisumu County. Willis, tonight we decided to take things a bit easier. We've been having quite a number of political events taking center stage here in the country, so it's always good to relax and have a good laugh. I hope you've been able to follow through the show, and also you got tickled by one or two things here.
Hello, Betty. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fine. Kisumu is fine. Yes.
Okay, great. I guess you didn't hear me there. But Willis, it's great to see you this evening as we take a look at the difficult pronunciations here on the show. And I just want us to start with a word on the street, Willis, and then we come back to studio. All right, so we're waiting to hear a word on the street. All right, so there it goes. Let's see it.
Protocol. Protokiaro. Protocol. Protector.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor. Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor.
Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Chiropractor. Chiropractor. Chiropractor.
Willis, it's so hilarious. Today you'll have to forgive me, Willis, because I even had somebody, put in my name in it, saying Kirokyalo. And how do we pronounce this word? Chiropractor, chiropractor. How do we go about it, Willis?
I think, Betty, now I can get you clearly now, and that is great for us for tonight.
Yeah.
And Betty, what has really struck me, for that matter, is Chiro Brother. Chiro Brother and the other versions. And Chiro is very, very popular. Anyway, we say chiropractor. Chiropractor. The CH, which is a digraph at the beginning of that word, takes the sound k, just like in the word chorus. So you say chiropractor.
Chiropractor. And do we have any time that we have ch, when we have to say ch and not, chiropractor? Like there's that chauffeur.
Just like when you have the word chest, champion, you pronounce the CH as ch, chest, champion, choice, chalk,
Church.
So many examples. But in this word, we say you have the sound k for the two letters which combine, that is C and H. Chiropractor, just like choir, chorus, and all that.
Okay.
But remember the same digraph, CH, can also take the sound sh, that is like in the word chef. A chief chef, not a chef. You also say chagrin. To the chagrin, not to the chagrin. Charlatan, chandelier, and all that. So that digraph CH can, represent three different sounds. That is ch, k, and sh. In that case, Betty, I hope you get me clearly.
I've gotten you. Reminded me of way back in school where, you have the teacher, teach you ch, k, and sh. It's interesting, Willis. All right.
And Betty, many people took such lessons for granted, only to realize later, like when you join the careers of serious communication, sometimes you find yourself, sounding like you're speaking Gujarati or some other language when it is English words that you're struggling to pronounce. It happens, Betty, but that is why when we start at that nascent stage, that is like pre-primary, we should be a bit serious with the sounds of a language, whether it's English, Kiswahili, or any other second or target language.
All right.
Such sounds, very, very crucial or critical in our phonology, especially for English in this matter.
All right, got it, Willis, got it. All right, Willis, I'll ask you to take us through some of the other words that you had prepared for us before I also look at the words that have been given to us by our viewers.
Okay, Betty, I have words which we are now going to handle this as the feedback questions if
Yes.
I've got you right.
Yes,
But
yes.
we have Zachary Habimana of Kigali, Rwanda. Zachary, you say deterrent. A deterrent punishment. A deterrent
Deterrent.
punishment, not deterrent. Many people find themselves saying deterrent, but you deter. But when we have that adjective, you say deterrent.
Deterrent.
Priska Kendi, you say phobia.
Okay.
Phobia. Like claustrophobia, xenophobia. So it's phobia. Charles Kemoi, you say president, to set a precedent.
precedent.
Don't say to set a president.
Or a
President
precedent.
is like the head of state. That is that title you say president.
Right.
But many people also find themselves saying president so and so, which is vague. When you say president, you are not talking about rais in Kiswahili.
Okay.
President is P-R-E-C-E, that is P-R-E-C-E-D-E-N-T,
Yeah.
to set a precedent. But you say President
Okay.
Uhuru Kenyatta, not President Uhuru Kenyatta, the way many people say.
All right.
Then we have Charles Mwabili, you say sour milk. Sour milk. Don't say sour milk.
Sour.
Sour, S-O-U-R, sour, not
sour.
so. Then Israel Vincent, you say debut. A debut or debut. What you should
Debut.
avoid, don't say debut or debat. Debut. Then Abdirizak Kontosh, you say E-R-R-E-D. That is in British English. In American English, you may hear of aired or aired or erad. You know, the versions are there. But
Yeah.
in British English, you say to err, like to err is human, but he erred. E-R-R or R-R-E-D.
Okay.
Dominic Kandagor of Baringo North, you say grandeur, grandeur, but you can also say grandia, grandia. What you
Grandia.
avoid is grandeur. Grandeur, no. Grandeur or grandia. Then
Grandeur.
colonel, don't say colonel. Colonel is what we see, but you say colonel.
Colonel.
Colonel, a very tricky word. Then lieutenant. Lieutenant, not lieutenant, lieutenant. There are sometimes, certain pronunciations, Betty, that you may not understand where the sounds come from.
Yeah.
But this is another tricky one, especially the sound where it comes from, but that is what we call language. You use it in a descriptive way. You describe the way a language is used, like when you come to phonology, that is the sound system. So you say colonel, not colonel, lieutenant, and you also say vivacious. Dominic Kandagor of Baringo North, I hope we've taken care of you and other viewers of KTN News. Now, Lynette Anyango, you say conceptualize and conception. Conceptualize to conceptualize. Then you say conception from the word or the verb conceive.
Okay.
Ahmed Guhad of northeastern Kenya, you say protege. Protege. Don't say protege. Protege. And then Amina Musa, you say, oh, this word, Betty, we have a very tricky word here.
Let me hear it.
Many people say, it's not very tricky because I remember we covered it in one of our shows, but many people talk of machete. Some say machete. Some even say machete. But the pronunciation of that word for Amina Musa is machete. Then Murata wa Mwadani, you say cool, machete, not machete, not machete, and not machete, machete. Then Murata wa Mwadani, you say coup, a coup d'etat. Don't say coup. That P is silent. You say coup. not coop.
All right.
George Ogola, you say devour, condor. Don't say condor. That is C-O-N-D-O-R.
Okay.
Condor. Then treatise or treatise. We have alternative pronunciations or two acceptable pronunciations for that word.
All right.
T-R-E-A-T-I-S-E, treatise or treatise.
Okay.
Second last, Moha Funky, a very big fan of Friday Briefing.
Moha
you
Funky
say
in Wajir.
silhouette.
Silhouette.
Silhouette. Don't say
Not
silhouette or silhouette. You say silhouette.
Silhouette.
Very tricky word also. Then Mary Nelima of Kakamega, she has written catch. Catchmega, I think. That is the funny way of, calling Kakamega.
So delicious way
Mary
to go
Nelima,
about it.
I know. You say international. We have the word nation.
Yeah.
Then you say national, and you go ahead to say international. Avoid saying national or international. You say national and international. Just like we have the word nature, but the adjective, you don't say natural, you say natural.
All right.
And then a friend here, I think, is commenting, Betty, you have popular comedians in the studio. Somebody is saying here, Willis, can you tell us whether we say comedian, comedy, or you say comedy, that is the noun.
Yeah.
It's comedy. Then we say comedian. When you change that word for grammatical function, when you're talking about the person who is in comedy, you now say comedian.
All right.
Comedian. Erastus Onyango, we also love you so much. The comedians with Betty in Nairobi are tough. And I will tell you for free, they are tough and banging. So Betty, what do you have for us?
Interesting.
Yeah, tough and banging.
Well, MC Jesse has just heard that. He's wondering banging. But yes, you're tough and banging. All right, Willis. I guess we'll wrap up there in case you have any surprise word tonight.
Well, any surprise word for tonight, Betty, it's we'll go straight to Betty. How do you pronounce this word?
Wow, Willis, you're putting me on the spot. All right, let me try. Is it?
No, not putting you on the spot.
Well,
Betty, we agreed that nobody is perfect, not even Willis.
Okay.
So we have to learn by trying, missing it. Do you remember in a class where there could be somebody raising the hand up?
Yeah.
But when the teacher looks at the person lowers the hand down.
Yeah.
Those things happen. But in a learning situation, be ready to make a mistake because we learn through mistakes. So we are just trying to do our usual thing of showing that nobody is perfect. We can get it or we can miss it.
Okay, Willis, I think that word is avian.
That is it, and that is why you are Betty Chalo. Or Chalo for that matter, because your English is always super. So, Betty, we say avian. So what I've done this time is looking at the phonetic transcription. When I talk about phonetic transcription, Betty, I talk about the use of special sound symbols to write the pronunciation of a word. So avian, not avian. You say avian, avian flu. That is when we're talking about the bird flu. You say avian flu, not avian, the way many people say it. And Betty, we also say aviary. Aviary, not aviary.
Okay.
Aviary, no. Aviary. When we are talking about a large cage that is kept maybe at a farm for, we don't say aviary the way many people talk about a. It also takes the sound a. That is the letter A takes the sound a. So you say aviary, not aviary. And Betty, the next one, as an example, may really be useful for many people, especially our viewers. You hear people talking of aviation. Aviation.
Yes.
Aviation, no. But we don't say aviation. And if somebody talks about aviation, it may not be something that is English.
Okay.
You say aviation.
All right.
Aviation. I've also helped people with the phonetic transcription down here so that those people who understand the phonetic transcription may also use it. But this is in line with what we call the International phonetic alphabet,
Okay.
IPA.
All right.
So aviation,
Aviation.
not aviation.
Got it, Willis.
And then we have the confusing words, Betty.
Yeah. Finally.
When we talk of phase one, many people say phase one. Phase. Don't say phase for the word below. Phase is the one up here. F-A-C-E. Phase.
Face.
My face.
Yeah.
And if you can see the transcription, it ends in what we call the unvoiced or voiceless sound like an S. Face. My face. To set the pace.
Okay.
The race. To run a race.
All right.
So you don't say Z. But the word below, P-H-A-S-E, is phase.
Phase.
Like if you have an estate in Nairobi, you may talk of maybe like Dandora phase one.
Okay.
Or when you have the first go at something, you say phase one of something. That is P-H-A-S-E.
All right.
Betty,
Interesting.
that is how sweet good pronunciations can make English to be.
I know, Wills. It's interesting, and starting from chiropractor, after we heard from the streets. Hopefully we can have that clip again just to hear what Kenyans this time around had to say on the streets. But Willis, thank you very much for all the lessons tonight. You know, I'm always so careful when speaking to you.
When you're speaking to me.
Yeah.
Because as I always say,
Yeah.
speak when you are free and keep simple. Don't keep. The essence of any language is communication. Like now what the comedians do. And don't take it for granted, because the way they do what they do has a very important, message to a certain target of audience. And even the wider aspect or perspective when you talk about the society. What they do is also very important, but they use a language that, of course, also communicates in a very clear way to so many people.
Right.
That is how good language can be.
All right. Willis, thank you very much. Joining us from Kisumu City. You can also chat him up and tweet him at Willis Ocheng1, ask him all those questions, or you can also choose to just wait until we have Friday briefing every Friday here. Willis, always great to hear from you here on Mind Your Language and Mind Your Pronunciations. All right, so that is